Hello and welcome, I'm ep1, and this is a brand new series of Mashinky by Jan Zeleny. Maybe I said that right. This game is a logistics simulator, mostly based on trains, but other logistic transport options are also available. Right now, road, and as far as I know, airplanes are in the works, but they're not available yet. This game is maybe best described as similar to a transport fever, but with a lot of different twists, ideas, and ways to accomplish something similar. Also, I think it looks a lot prettier. On one side, there are two modes, and we will get into all of that. This game is mostly done by Jan Zeleny. As far as I know, it's only a one developer thing. There may be a couple ones that help him out every once in a while, but that's what I know. So this is slow development. It's been around since I don't even know, I can't read the number, but 2017 or 2016. So it's early access. It's been around for a while, and it's not done yet. The last update was 12.19, but just at the end of last month, there was some talk, and it sounds like the next update is not that far away. So one major update that adds a full new feature list every 6 months feels very good. But yeah, it's not a done game. It's pretty, I'll tell you that, and it's very complicated. So what are we going to do? We're going to play a new map. I played around with these seeds, and I never found a map that I really loved. So we're not going to do that. However, we are going to play the custom 1024 UK map. It's the United Kingdom and Ireland. It's very pretty. It's very difficult, I want to say, because of how things are laid out. So that will make things complicated. And that's not it. We're also playing on, I don't know if this is the most complicated setting, but this is what we're playing on. Tutorial? No, we're good now. Random quests? Yes. Era progression. So you start somewhere, but you can upgrade those, and you get tokens in the game. It's effectively a currency, and tokens are for different things like passengers or different types of cargoes, etc., etc. You can get tokens for those. Cool. And you can either advance by researching something or by date. We're just going to leave both of them on because so far I've only been in Era 1, that's a steam engine, and haven't made it out of it. I think there are 7 or 8 eras right now, and I have seen bullet trains, so that's cool. Passenger mail, yep. Tokens, starting loan, loan interest, blah, blah, blah. All of this is pretty much standard. I think you can probably do higher or lower, but disabled. Default is probably fine, so it's not the hardest setting. I'm not gonna go there because it's just gonna slow us down even more. Infrastructure, auto leveling terrain, sure, helps me a little bit because I'm new. Auto depot connections, actually I don't like that, but I kind of need it because I have only one depot available. What does this mean? Well, one depot, but it means one depot per thing. Per train, that may be easy. For roads, means I have to connect all cities also via roads, which, hey, we'll see how that goes. Signals, auto signal type. No, these are block signals, and I like them. Blocks and chains, and actually good. First click signal, I actually don't like the one-way because I often have to change it, especially in the beginning, so we're going to start with two-way. I think I can change that later on too if I actually have to. These are big ones. Change drive direction. Reverse add stop signals. No, if your train goes this way, it's not going to magically go the other way when you're done with it. It's going to stay this way and just going to go backwards. That's what we want. So you actually have to turn the trains around because if trains go backwards, they go slower. Yeah, it's great. Reverse at stations? No. Reverse around the hill too steep? No. Stop trains of no money? Yes. Magic flip? No, never. Rust visible? Sure, why not? Towns relocate disabled, so we can't just take buildings out. Means that you actually have to use the buses to make things work, which the one depot thing is kind of complicated. Abandoned buildings, darkening? Sure, enabled. Why not? And then we are in the UK, so may as well keep this available. And yeah, those are all our settings, I believe, and we can get going. Cool. This is where we are. Who are we? First, we changed the portrait. I believe that there is a bug that resets this all the time anyway, so we're just going to start with that guy because it looks great. And we want to be something purple. The fuchsia. Fuchsia. Sure. That works. That's us. It's really not important. But this is our map. Yeah, right there. That's our map. Recognize this from somewhere? Yeah, you should. And this is what we have. We have cities. Cities produce passengers. That should make sense. 7 residential buildings, sure. And it produces, it looks like 1.9 passengers every tick. Let's go with ticks. There you go. York produces, you can see it there. Then you have Leeds with 22 buildings, produces 3.6, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if that's every second or whatever it means, but it's just, there's a time frame where it actually does something. And that's pretty neat. And then you have industries, like this one. This forest produces 1 every tick. Yes, and then you have a coal mine, produces that every tick. And then you have, lumber storages, or what's this called, sawmill. You have to bring stuff here. And then you also have tools. And also, I believe there's one with tools. Tools are for some reason in the cities already, which is kind of cool because there's also pollution in this game. But it's pretty nice. I like it. And here, for example, you need 4 planks and 3 coal to produce plank token and coal tokens, and then you get tools for that. Pretty neat, because tools have to get delivered somewhere as well. So all of that is pretty neat. And then it may not look like much, but honestly, I mean, look at this. You can zoom in all the way, and once we get the vehicles going, I think you will appreciate this. How about we just get the vehicles going? Yes, we shall. I will start at the big town, which is London, because if we are doing a single, what's it called? Single, yes, you said that. If we do a single, I don't know why my brain is farting. If we do a single depot, you have to do it somewhere where it actually makes sense. So London is the only depot. I think that is okay. Mechanics-wise, you can hit space, and that opens this mode. This is the other mode. This is the build mode. And you can see this may look like OpenTTD or a couple other games. I'm sure there are more out there that you can think of, but this is what it looks like because you can see the different slopes, you can see the different mountains, etc., etc. You can see a lot of stuff going on. And down here is where you can actually build your constructions. What's this? Quests and subtitles. Okay, subsidies. Got it. Yeah, and now you build. It looks very simple, but honestly, it does everything that you need. You can go over here to your bulldozer and say, I would like this land higher, a little bit higher, so that I can hopefully now build my first station here. There's my first station. You can just build it so large. I am making this a terminal station, which means we have to make sure that our trains can actually really turn around. And that is not guaranteed. So make sure that that happens and that you plan for that. So that's the first one. Our next city, I think I want to make Reading. Why? Because it's far enough away. There's a lot of flat ground here, and Reading really connects to, let's see if we can see the city name, Oxford and Southampton and a bunch of other places. Luton over there too, and there's a forest there. It just connects to a lot of things, so I would like to get out to Reading. Reading is... Oh, here's a trick. The this church, apparently there are 2 now. This church is producing more passengers, where every building, I believe, produces just 1. But the churches, if you get them in a catchment area, will produce a lot more. We won't need them right away, but it is something to consider in the beginning. So let's put this station somewhere where this matters. Right there is fine. We spent 63 tokens, and right now, if you look, our station is not in catchment area radius. So that, what is our catchment? That's our catchment. We're just barely out of range. We could have put it over here, but we cannot demolish buildings. So that's a thing. And I think we have some control over how the city grows later on. But we're not in range right now, so we're only going to get a few people here. And you can help that by adding a waiting room later on. I don't know that we need it right away because it also costs 100 tokens. So let's stay away from that. Now, the fun part. Let's connect this station to the other station. There are some overlays that you can turn on and off if you want to, but we're not there yet. The game will try its best to place things in a way that may or may not make sense. In this case, you do want to stay straight as much as you can and even keep your mountains, your slopes slow, because let's see if we can get an overlay for the speed. I don't think we have a speed overlay. Maybe we do. I don't remember. But the turns are slower. And the turns, they lose 10% or so of their speed, which is pretty nice. So keep your turns to a minimum and stay in a straight line. There you go. Now, this would totally work if you didn't have magic flips turned off. But I have magic flips turned off. Doesn't make me good or bad. It just makes me maybe a little wild. So we have to figure out how we're going to turn things around. And we also need to figure out where we're going to put a depot. A depot can serve multiple purposes. One of them is vehicles can turn around in a depot because a depot doesn't take as much space. So let's look at a depot. It's right there. It looks like this. Thought I turned that off, but apparently I didn't. And then you click the middle mouse button and you can connect them like this. So yeah, if a train goes into a depot, it can actually turn around. The problem is I have only one depot on. I cannot destroy this after I place it the first time. The same thing for the road depot. So once it's placed, that's where it goes. So I don't just want to place it somewhere where I may want to do a lot of maneuvering later on. So I'm going to put it further away than I would normally like, just so that I can give myself enough wiggle room to do whatever we need to do here. So yeah, let's just put you out of the way here. Could probably even put you out here because I really want to keep you out of the way, because I wouldn't be surprised if London at the end will be a ginormous hub. That's at least the hope. So you go there, and that's the only depot we built. So now if I tell you delete, only one depot. Can't do anything. Maybe there's a cheat code that I can type in and then it will let me replace that, but right now there is not. And I am okay with that. I'm very okay with that. Cool. Next things. We need to set up a way to turn around the train so that it can actually do the things that we need it to do. How about right here? And I'm doing that here because I know that at some point I am going to replace this. I just don't know where yet. We're just going to put a little bit of track there. This is longer than I want it to be, but it's just a starting point just to get something done. So a train can go in there. A train can actually fit into the siding, at least for now, and another train can come in. So this can be all one-way traffic, which is very important. That's one way to turn a train around. Number two, it's just a very simple turnaround loop. You don't have to think about this. You just plop it in, and that is what it is. I'm going to leave myself a little extra room there so I can add signals later on when I want to, because there's no reason for this to be a forever single train setup, because there just is no reason for that. And you will see why. Engines. It's very simple. You have two available. The first one is the porter. Costs you 40 green coins. The green coins are the passenger coins. We started with 2,000. We just spent 622. So be aware. But the porter is the first one. We're just going to buy it. It's right here. It's very pretty and very nice. Then there are wagons. We have a Pullman and a coach car. The Pullman is a little smaller than the coach car, but it also weighs less. And if you look over here, there's weight. So there's horsepower, there's your speed, there's the tonnage that it can pull up the hill, which is 168, which you also get to see right here. And, well, not just up the hill, the tonnage that it can pull. Once you get past this tonnage, you will slow down. You will lose speed, and that's bad. And then you have everything else. I honestly don't know what the golden number is. If someone could put that in the comments below, I asked this in a forum. Nobody has answered. That'd be great. But yeah, there's a gold number. I think that has to do with ticket prices. And as you can see, that's my guess. I don't know if I'm right. Over here, you make a little less than here. So we're actually going to use the coach cars until we hit close to the weight limit, which is 4. Once we get one more, which is 22 tons full. No, we should have room for one more. There you go, 165 if we're actually full. And that's our length. And the longer the trains are, the more efficient they are, because that's how trains work. They like to be full. And then orders. This is a little clumsy, but I think it's fine. All you have to do now is tell them, hey, I want you to go to that station, then I need you to turn around. You don't need signals for this. They can just turn around by themselves. I don't believe that this is long enough anymore. Once we figure out that this is not long enough anymore, I will make some adjustments. We'll probably go in here, actually, and figure it out. And then the last thing is go out to the station. Cool. And then there are a couple different views that we can take. First, this is obviously ugly right now. This is the building mode. We don't want that. But if you hit space, it's no longer ugly mode. And now we can actually see something happening. So we're going to turn the speed up just a little bit until I tell the train to go. And then we're going to go in front of the train. Is that pretty? Yes, I think so. Is this the prettiest thing you've ever seen? No. But I think for one person, this is... let's slow it down just a little bit. For one person, this is pretty good stuff, so I like that. Very nice. There are coaches coming behind us, and they can do their thing. There are other views. Stop trees. There are other views that we can use, like this one. Now you get into the cab, and you can, yes, you can actually drive it. I'm not good at driving this yet, but right now we're driving auto, and now we're driving manually. And do I W speed it up? Yes. Give it all the horsepower. And eventually you just have to stop, and I don't trust myself. So we'll let this thing do its thing. I'm sure it's really cool, and you can actually change where you're standing. So now we're standing here, and now we're standing there, and now we're standing outside the vehicle. And you can do this with all vehicles in the game, which is pretty cool. Let's get out of here and see something. You may notice a lack of, here we're just fitting in, you may notice a lack of NPCs, passengers, people that may care to get on this train. Yeah. They don't exist right now, and that's fine. It's an early access. I believe there's a plan for making that happening, but right now it's not happening. As you can see, our max speed in reverse is less than half than the max speed going forward. So this whole thing is actually very, very important. I'm going to pause this because it's going to take forever, and I'm just going to test the length of this thing. And I know that the length, and I should probably just count this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The length of this thing is not sufficient to fit all your pylons. So let's just go here, get rid of all of that. I should have done this right the first time, but I didn't. So now I'm paying the price, literally, because it cost money to do this. Okay, let's get our train out here. We could go in. I don't want to build up here. Well, do I want to? It could build up here probably. It's just a little slope. It's not that bad. Then we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. If we come from here, can we get in there? No, we cannot. If we come from here, can we get in there? No. Yeah, and this, I had a feeling that this was a problem because we're now on a funny slope and the game will not let you build there. So let's undo what we just did. And I think I'm just going to spend a little bit of money at leveling this out. So let's go down here, spending money on leveling. Yes, we have a little bit of money, so this should be a-okay. There's leveled, and there's this, and now we do the same thing again, where I figure out where our turn radius is big enough. At some point when I play this more, I will probably know what the right turn radius is, but not yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the length, and we're just a little extra, and that should be fine. This obviously has just disappeared, so let's get rid of that. And we're just going to add another stop right at the end here, so it can now turn around, move it up in the chain, and that is our next stop, and that's what our train is going to do. Let's see if that's actually going to happen. Obviously, this length is no longer a full train anymore, but we could have a train come by on the outside and actually park there, and that should be fine. So, train is a little confused, but it's slowly moving, figuring out where it's going, and it's just backing up here. And after a little while, let's look at the info window, because that's important. After a little while, it says, I am good now, let me go. And now it's going to hit the actual 40 miles per hour, as long as we're not in a turn, and we have it slowed down a little bit so you can actually see this, the turn slow down. It only goes down to 37, but it does go down, so it matters a little bit, and I like that. So that's cool. You can see how many people are waiting. There are 26 currently at that station. That's neat. There are 21 currently at this station. And all I care about is that this train has 75 passenger limit, can actually fill up all the way. And the way it is set up right now, it won't fill up. It's barely half full. So we have to get this church in range. The way you do that is hit your extension, waiting room, put it somewhere where it matters, and now the church is in walking range and everything should be a little quicker. Cool. Same thing over here. I don't think we're actually going to fill this up right away, but I would like to. So we're going to spend a little bit more money, and I guess I don't have to slow down time. We're going to spend a little bit more money. I'll level this out as much as it lets me. I hope that, well, I may have to destroy the bridge a little bit. But if that is the problem, then we'll just deal with that, because this piece of bridge is not that important. Well, the whole bridge gets destroyed. Cool, good to know. I'm new to this, so it's fine. Let's get that one. We just need a little extra space. I'm hitting pause. Sorry, I'm hitting space to get pause, but that's not how this game works. So it's okay. Let's get that one here. That will get us most of the way to this church, but not all the way. So there's more to do, which is fine. There's the space bar again, because it's going to happen, and we have 41 people here. I am expecting this train to start filling up over time. So what do we get now? 41, 42. Yeah, that's fine. That's a good enough number, and we're starting to make some money here, I'm pretty sure. That is nice, and then we have 42 people sitting there. That's good. That's helpful. Let's look at one of the overlays, because they can actually be helpful. If we look at the... Is it this one? Industry overlay? No. Mountains? Definitely not. No. Destinations? Yes. We have just a little bit of utilization happening from over here to... Like from London to Oxford. Is that what it is? I think it was Oxford. It may be Oxford. Don't remember. Reading. Totally not Oxford at all. But yeah, they can figure it out there. And yeah, at this point we have 62 passengers already waiting here. The train is just moving there. I think, yeah, 65 there. So we will be able to put a second train on here very, very soon. And that's when the fun starts, because one train can work on every train network that you will ever run. Two trains needs a little bit of finesse. Just a little bit. And I'm hoping that's what we're getting to. Soon, at least. Can I get... Nope, can I build underwater? That's fine. I think I would like to connect the bus station that we're going to add here to our actual train station here. And the depot, I don't want that far away either. So let's see how we actually do this. Part of me just wants to fill in this whole thing, and you only cost me $100 to do. That's totally fine. That's like no cost at all. That's great stuff. And then you have to connect to here, and I think it's going to be really easy to turn this thing around. And we need that because, and this may not actually work the way that I have it set up, we need that because the station, for it to count, yeah, you have to make it straight. For the station to count to connect to the building, like the station that we have here, that you want to connect to, it has to be right next to it. Otherwise, it doesn't count. What does that mean? If I put a station right here, you see that catchment radius? It's just like 2 squares in each direction diagonally and whatever. If I put it here, it is part of now this train station. They can all talk to each other, and that's what we want. So we're going to put it right here. And now I just have to decide if I want them to go this way or if I want them to just straight turn around here. And honestly, I'm thinking now that I want them to take the whole way around. The roads aren't that expensive, and this is... Everything is fine. Yeah, totally fine. We could put a bridge over here. Yeah, eventually. All right. Now, next thing. Let's build a depot somewhere where real estate is not that high in demand. Apparently, it's a little cheaper here, so let's put it there. And now we have a depot for buses, for vehicles, for a semi-bus. It's not a full bus, it's a semi-bus. And we're going to get there once I put our stations down, because these can make us some money already. So we're going to put one there, obviously one here, put one close to the church, and then where I want to go, I think, as long as we have the church covered, we're good there. And this is where Transport Fever 2 Experience comes in handy, because you're going to build these types of connections more often than not, probably. Let's get one more in here. I mean, you see the catchment areas, the catchment radius very clearly, so it shouldn't be hard, but there you go. We already have 200 people sitting in the station, so we can get all the things that we care about done very, very soon. The semi-bus itself is more expensive than... It's almost as expensive as the first locomotive that we set up. Just be aware of that, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to go... This is a little sad because I haven't seen a shortcut yet. It's just because I haven't really studied the rule book. Let's call it that. The control book. You just have to click on this add station for all the things that you want. We have station 7, station 8. Then you come around here. And yeah, it's a little tedious. I'm sure this will get some love and some quality of life improvements, and then everyone will be happy. How about we add one more station here, because it feels like having the church in there twice is only going to be helpful. Station 10, station 11. As you can see, people are already just getting on. They don't even ask where you want them to go. And then you go here. And last one is right here, and that is our bus station. Now let's look how the bus looks when it comes out. Space. 3, there's our bus. Pretty standard, huh? You may say. And you may be right, but I quite like it. And we can do the same thing. We can ride the bus, we can drive the bus, and we can sit in the bus as a passenger. Yes, we're going to do that a lot more later on. Hey, I look like I'm sitting there. No, I don't. We're going to do that a lot more later on. Just be patient, but there you go. I think the animations themselves are really nice. And yeah, again, one person. This is done by one person. Look at that water. Cool. That was the first side. Let me do the opposite way too. I know that buses generally don't make money, but they're really just there to feed the stations. So I'm going to let this run a little faster just so stuff gets actually in. But yeah, I'm going to get one more bus going the other way. Hold on. See, that wasn't that bad. That one can go and do the things. Cool. Now, we have 700 bucks in the bank, and the best way to make money is trains, just period. And the train is full now, as you can see, and our station is starting to get overloaded. So if we go into our overlay and look at our station statistics, not that one, this one, station statistics, we're getting to a not so good. Where's my legend? There you go. Balanced occupancy. Okay, it's not that bad over there apparently, but we are getting to a bad space. But it also looks like the city transport would like some more buses running, and we will make that happen eventually, just not quite yet. Hey train, you're gonna get a friend. What should we do with the train? Well, double track is the easiest for sure, but we really don't need double track yet. We're not at a stage in this game where double track really makes sense. So what we're gonna do is build a little bit of extra track, passing track one might call it, and just call that good enough. And where I want to do that is kind of here, because if we look at it, we could count tiles if you really want to, but this is kind of the middle of the track, considering this guy has to go all the way around, this guy has to go back up and then around. It's somewhere in this area. I don't know that it's exactly here, but it's somewhere in this area. So I just want to get a little bit of track out here, and then go downhill there, and then yeah, if we can make this so that we still only have one turn in there, that's great. Signals. All right, let's slow this down, otherwise the trains will get confused. This is a chain signal. Go to any of my workers and resources tutorials for signals, because these work exactly the same. Chain signals to enter a junction, and this thing is a junction, because there's multiple ins or outs. That's a junction. That's really all it really does. Over here, we're going to put a block signal to get us out of the junction. These are really simple. You generally don't have to think much about these, but that's where they are. Here's where the game gets a little more funky, just a little bit. If you go here, well, this is actually one way, so that's helpful. You can go that way. The game actually makes it a little easier. You can click this little button, and then it will try for the block that's in front of it to just signal out everything that it can. So you can put as many trains on there as you possibly want to, which we're only going to have 2 for a while, so it should be fine. But there's another chain signal there. So this whole blue thing here, or green right now, is one block, and only one train is going to be allowed to be in there. And that should help. You won't be allowed to pass a chain signal like this if the signal in front of it is red. And that's really the main thing that will happen here. So you only place these chain signals if you want to make sure that, for example, wrong button again. Should I slow this down? Pressing all the buttons, all the wrong ones. You only want a chain signal if you don't want anyone in this block, unless this chain signal can see another signal that is green where they can exit. So nobody's going to enter this and block it unless this signal is green, telling them, hey, you can get in the station, which is really the main thing there. Should make sense, I hope. Maybe. Cool. How's it going? 300 people over here. Okay, let's get another train moving, because now we have a little bit of room, but we're not quite done just yet, because we still have this little setup going on. Okay, This thing is not long enough to actually hold a full train, so we're going to change it up just a little bit. Let's pause the game with our number keys. I pressed 1. We have 1 extra tile available here. Do I want that? A little bit? Yes, that's what we're going to do, because I don't want to add another curve in there. We have 1 extra tile, which means we can go there, and I just wanted to go to the inside a little more. And then we can just run a little further along until we jump back onto our main line, just like that, and now we can start signaling things. You can signal things like this. You can now go that way, and then you can jump in here. Wouldn't be surprised if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6th is a little out of the way now, so we probably have to extend this and let the train come out all the way there. Also, right now, this is a one-way signal, which is not very helpful. I had to learn this the hard way. This is probably not super necessary, but we do want one-way signals where it makes sense, but we don't want one-way signals where it hurts. So if you want a two-way signal, if you want a mixed signal where you have a chain signal and a block signal, you need a double signal like that. It doesn't matter if it's a double block or a double chain signal. And then use the other thing that you want, press on the side where the direction that you want to go. And then now you have a mixed signal with a single arrow pointing this way and a double arrow pointing that way. Now I think in this game, the block signals would totally work the same way. So, the chain signals will totally work the same way, so we don't actually have to do this, but I'm used to that, and I rather keep it familiar than new. And well, I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's get this one in here, that one in there. You can go out that way, you can go out this way. You do need to bring trains back to your depot if you want them to do something special for you, so make sure that you keep some room for that, but we should be okay for now. Yeah, almost done. Let's make sure that this train knows where it's going, so orders. We're going to remove this one, but have you go to the end of this guy. That's your next task, and you should be good to go. Cool. There's one piece missing. We haven't told the station to only receive 1 train right now, and that's what we're going to do. Again, just the same signal trick. We're going to do it with double block signals this time, and I'm going to put a chain signal on that side, so nobody's going to leave the station until this signal is green, and that signal is not green until the train has cleared this area. And once it has, we should all be in good shape. There we go. There are probably too many signals in here, but I wanted this part of the section to be allowing multiple trains, and that should help. Cool. Now we can buy a new train, because we should have some money. Engine, porter, wagon, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? 5. There we go. And then here is something that I didn't know for the first time. You can just click on the plus, and if you want to duplicate a line that already exists, just click on that and tell it to start, and then that guy, wrong button for pause again, that way that guy can just go. Are you coming out? Yes, you are. Okay, yeah, 2 trains, 700 bucks in the bank. We can continue. We should probably build some roads to the next city so we can get take a little more advantage of what's going on over there, but yeah, there you go. There's our trains. Cool. Can we change the color? I think we can, but I don't want to. I like the color. Yeah, that's Mashinky. This is going to be serious. And hopefully, we're going to go through the whole map. And how much do we have there? We have a lot of cities there. No boats, so this has to be a very long bridge at some point. But I'm excited because, as far as I know, industries, there are new industries in every era. And things should just work out and be merry and do all those things. And that's wonderful. There's a station with 100 people there. That's good. That one, we could probably extend this to actually be double track to just join them back here. But for right now, we're just going to wait because they just started their thing. Oh, you can actually go because there are some signals over here that make this really easy. I like it. Cool. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you like this. And I'll see you again at the next episode. Bye-bye.